The year is 2024. Young, hopeful, exciting. Will it be filled with thrills and wonder or disappointment and depression? Let's find out. That's right, guys. Rolex predictions are already starting. Monochrome Watches just released an article with their own predictions, and we're going to go ahead and react to it today because some of the things that they are proposing seem like they could totally happen this year, and some of the things seem a little bit more outlandish. All of it is quite interesting, and I'm going to be giving you some of my own opinions here. But as we look at these predictions, I want to hear from you. What do you think is going to happen in the Rolex world this year? Because as far as I'm concerned, it seems like all Rolex gives us is wait lists and frustration. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. It is 1:37 p.m. Let's get down to business. As always, this episode's brought to you by the Time Teller Shop, my very own store, and I want to share with you one of my favorite watches of this week's restock, this Wittenauer Tank Revue signed dial, small seconds, gorgeous Dauphine handset with these kind of pseudo Breguet Arabics, gorgeous old school. We just had an earthquake. I don't know if the camera picked that up. We just had an earthquake while I was filming. Anybody feel that? Hold on, this is... Dude, 4.7. Oh my gosh, dude, you guys are seeing this with me. This is hilarious. 4.7 meg while we're recording. That's a first. As I was saying, we have a gorgeous Wittenauer tank for sale, guys. It's incredible, and it will survive an earthquake because we have it here in the office right now and it's not broken. So that's something that we can brag about officially. Use this coupon code T3Live and save yourself some money. I film here every day. Never had an earthquake on camera. We just had one. I doubt the camera picked it up, but that is so hilarious. All right, so another thing that is causing a big rumble and buzz around town are Rolex predictions. Every year, everyone wants to be the first person to come out with an accurate Rolex prediction list. And I really respect the guys over at Monochrome Watches. They do a lot of really good work over there. So I want to kind of react to their predictions, but also give you some of my own opinions because some of the things they bring up I think are closer to the mark than others, but let's go ahead and start off. They first talk about the reintroduction of a Milgauss. Now, their thought process is, the Milgauss has been discontinued, and Rolex, discontinues things and brings them back, and yada, yada, yada. Every watchmaker does that from time to time. But because Rolex recently revamped the Air King, they think that Rolex is, potentially going to bring back its sister watch. They refer to it as the sister watch, this Milgauss. Now, I am not super duper excited for a black dial Milgauss. I'm not very excited for another Milgauss, period. Although I do think the kind of bluish greenish hue from one of the older Milgausses is more interesting than a black dial. But listen, guys, after spending a bunch of time with an Omega Railmaster, I don't know why anyone would choose a Rolex Milgauss over a Railmaster. I get it. People are like, value retention. You gotta choose Rolex, But dude, okay, listen. A Railmaster, you can get from Omega, brand new, okay, for like under $4,000. And that's rated to 15,000 Gauss. A Milgauss, if you're looking to purchase one right now, okay, you're looking over $14,000. And it's still only rated to 1,000 Gauss. So I'm not saying it's a slouch. I'm just saying it's really not the best at what it does when you can get another watch from Omega that does everything this one does, but better and for a lot less money. So anyway, will they bring back a Milgauss? Maybe. I doubt it will be a black dial. I think that they would probably bring like a white dial in. That's just my opinion. But we will see. Okay, they move on to a prediction about the Yachtmaster 2. Now, Yachtmaster 2 isn't my favorite Rolex, although it does have a very interesting complication, a regatta timer. If you don't know how that works or what it is, I did an episode on my It's Not Complicated series. I'll link it up in the corner where you can click that episode and learn what a regatta timer is. But they feel, the guys over at Monochrome, that Rolex is going to bring this back, but downsize. They think it's going to be a little bit more wearable. I think they said they're going to downsize it to 42 millimeters. I doubt it. Okay, Rolex, if anything, has been going on the bigger is better train, so I cannot see them take a watch that's this complicated and has this much wrist presence and downsize it. That's just not going to happen. I think maybe they're speculating that Rolex would do this because they've seen Tudor downsize the Pelagos, but I really, really, really do not think this is going to happen. Now, here's my most interesting choice for Monochrome's list. A reintroduction of a turnograph. Now, these renders, by the way, Monochrome killed it with these renders. I think that this looks kind of like a ceramic bezel on a turnograph. Now, for those of you who don't know what a turnograph is, it's a date just with a timing bezel. And here's why I don't think this will happen, okay? So Rolex did bring back a turnograph for a period of time, and it was lovingly called a Thunderbird. Now, if you look at these Thunderbirds, these are from like the kind of 2000s and red secondhand with a timing bezel, and these did not sell well. These did not sell well at all. I do appreciate this kind of sleeker take on it. But again, they just weren't popular, so I can't see it happening. Next up, a prediction that gets thrown around like every year, okay? Rolex is going to bring a white dial to the Explorer 1. I actually think this would be the most possible, okay? Most believable. Why? Because Rolex has done pretty much everything else to the Explorer. They've upsized it. They've downsized it. They've given it two-tone. I've heard people be like, oh, they're going to do a solid gold Explorer. And if you told me that like 5 years ago, I'd say you are crazy. But the fact that they have done a two-tone on an Explorer leads me to believe, dude, anything's possible, I suppose. But I can see them bringing a white dial to the Explorer. I think this is potentially the most believable out of any of the predictions thus far. But it's kind of a cop-out choice because, like every year for the past 6 years, people have been speculating that. Here's another very believable one, the return of a meteorite dial. I'm not excited about this at all, but I can totally see it because Rolex has done this in the past. Now, here are some picks that I think are very, very interesting. So the Cellini line, oh, it got dissolved. Not really, because they have these 1908s. These are essentially Cellinis. So a dual time and a perpetual moon phase for the 1908. When the 1908 was released, what was it, last year? I wanted to hate it because I was like, no Cellinis. I don't like the Cellini. People are like, well, it's not technically a Cellini. It's a Cellini. But what I will say is these renders, look at that. Really, really nice. I'm actually a fan. I actually would love to see this. The 1908s have actually done quite well for Rolex. And I can totally see them wanting to add a few more complications to them to, give people some more options if you're in the market for one of these. I still would not purchase one of these 1908s because if I had money to throw at a dress watch like this, or a dress watch in this price range, I would go elsewhere. If I'm going to buy a Rolex, it's going to be one of their sports watches, period. So all in all, I think a white dial Explorer is believable. I think these turnographs would be very cool if they were this sleek, although I think that's probably not happening. I think a Milgauss could reappear. I think that a downsized Yachtmaster 2 is very, very unlikely. And yeah, meteorite dials, okay. I think they could bring them back. They've done it in the past with a few different watches, GMT Master 2. It's totally possible. But leave me a comment and let me know what you think is going to happen this year for Rolex. Also, really quick, guys, we just did an episode on this channel about how you can't wear a watch in the UK, and we covered a story that is incredibly tragic of someone getting stabbed to death in London over a watch that ended up being fake. Now, people in the comment section were like, "Oh, another reason Casio's god tier. Casio is god tier." Well, here, two absolute idiots in Guam allegedly hit man with bat and robbed him of $20 and a G-Shock watch. So, I mean, I guess I guess the moral of the story is dirtbags are going to be dirtbags regardless of where you are. All right, guys, and there you have it. What do you think of these Rolex predictions? And again, I hope you listed your own in the comment section below. And I get it. Of course, we're going to see more wait lists. Of course, we're going to see more frustration. Of course, the ADs aren't going to have anything, even though Rolex recently purchased Bucher and should have a lot more places to sell a lot more watches. Whatever. I will catch you on the next one. And for those of you who celebrate, Happy Chinese New Year, Gong Hei Fa Choi. I'm actually going to be eating with Sammy's family, my girl. They take Chinese New Year very, very seriously, probably because they're Chinese. Who would have thunk? All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time telling. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.